people are asking more and more things, and the pain is sort of could otherwise, in the absence of the proper tools, be getting overwhelming out there when you're trying to raise in these conditions.
Yeah, I think that's definitely right. I mean, particularly like you mentioned, we're out in the market now. We're leading a team. We just kicked off our fundraise. And so part of what we're trying to do is keep stock of all the potential prospective investors that we've spoken to, all of the people that we would like to speak to for any given reason, because they've been referred to us, or because we know they do early stage venture, or because we think they are interested in healthcare for us specifically. And so I think what we're looking at now is, how do you organize all of those? How do you help prioritize? How do you make sure that you are responsive to requests, that if all of the same LPs are giving you a decline for X, Y, and Z reason, or they are asking this certain question, how do you kind of better equip your internal teams and the ones who are out there selling the fund and really doing the fundraising to make sure that they are prepared, to make sure that everyone's speaking from the same playbook, to make sure we're not kind of reinventing the wheel every time we go out for a pitch or for an on-site DD session, for example. And so I think there's really a level of operational efficiency that needs to happen in-house. I mean, think about, even you could have two people sitting right next to each other, both cold emailing the same prospect, and that's obviously not very credible for the GP. And so there's definitely, as GPs scale, there's a level of organization and efficiency that needs to be there in order to attract the level of LPs that we would all like.
Yeah. How about for you, Julie? You kind of mentioned it with sort of a database and stuff like that. We do have a question too. By the way, I want to acknowledge that question. We're going to get to it here in a second, but let's talk just a little bit more, Julie. I mean, what you're getting a lot of requests as well, and like, how are you handling that? Where's the role for technology in that for you?
I mean, honestly, without the technology, we'd be in trouble. We've got to track. We experience LPs that go through estate planning, for instance. That happens in some of our investor database. And, we've got to be able to track the original investment down to what it was transferred to. I mean, that's just one example. Wire details for distributions. I mean, our whole due diligence process, our whole pipeline exists in Altvia. It's a system that, because it was created by people who do what we do in some capacity, it's got a lot better structural tracking. I mean, I can't tell you how many times in the early phases of our business, probably in the first year when we were still kind of tracking investors in a spreadsheet, and then we graduated to like a baby CRM. I'll call it that, because it was like a teeny tiny CRM. I would be continuously getting questions from the business development team of like, where are we with this? How much capital has been called from this? How much has been distributed from this? And like, people, in order to develop relationships with LPs and build trust and continue to bring them back and want to continue to build their, at least their lower market portfolio with us, like, we've got to have the information ready and available. And whether that's like, I literally live in Altvia. I just had like probably 10 tabs pulled up before we got on this call. But, whether it's like, I've got an investor wanting to know when their next investment update is, I have the ability to share some notes from the most recent call with the sponsor. I've got the ability to track people's investment preferences historically, like I mentioned before, to find out if they would be interested. If somebody's invested across 5 different real estate funds and we have a new fund we're going to market with, that person's going to want to see it.